Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Finding Flow, the podcast where we're going to be diving into the real stories behind how founders, operators, and leaders build momentum and create success on their own terms. I'm your host, Carl McDonald, and today we're going to be exploring the future of IoT, connectivity, and global business development with someone who's right in the intersection of it all. So, my guest today is Domagoj Simecki, Director of Business Development for EMEA at Mavoco AG, a company at the cutting edge of IoT connectivity management platforms. So Domagoj has built a career scaling sales and partner ecosystems across Europe with some of the biggest players in telco and IoT, including Nokia, Tele2 IoT, and A1 Telekom Austria. What really stands out about Domagoj is not just his technical expertise, but the way he navigates growth strategically, balancing long-term partnerships with market agility in a fast-changing space. So, huge welcome to the podcast, Domagoj. It's great to have you on here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So let's take it back to the beginning. What first drew you into the world of IoT and telecommunications?
Well, I started in telcos. This was just maybe a coincidence. I had some, like during my university years, I had some internships, and this is how I got in to, back then it was T-Mobile, right? Deutsche Telekom, and started in the sales, customer facing, market facing. But I was always interested in technologies, right? And one of the I would say by the end around 2010, this back then it was called M2M, machine to machine communication. So
Yeah.
this whole IoT story started rolling out, and somehow the opportunities within the telco space and industry appeared, and this is where I got in fully. And since then, I've been navigating through different parts of ecosystem or value chains in this whole industry. But yeah, in a nutshell, I would say it was the curiosity and maybe, having the possibility to build something new and, interesting use cases, different verticals. So, it is adaptable for different things. So, yeah, these are the
Okay,
mainly
great, great.
the reasons. Yeah.
And speaking of M2M and how it's sort of evolved, I suppose you've seen the evolution from M2M to full-blown IoT ecosystems. So, in your view, how has the business development playbook changed in this space?
Well, it has changed significantly, right? Firstly, just the use cases. Back then it was maybe some when the M2M was there, it was still, navigated or attributed as machine to machine communication, maybe some important data. But nowadays it's all over the, globe. You have connected vehicles, so automotive is growing. The consumer gadgets are connected, being it, I don't know, dog collars or coffee machines are connected, and all of
Yeah.
this, this is like a full blown surrounding, right? And the whole story changed, from localized products, very regionally or even in country kept, because back then, roamings were quite an issue, to the full blown global, product placing. So solutions can work worldwide, and these are some of the streams. Second way of is the whole technology, how it evolved, from 5G to from 2G to 5G, and different use cases also using some different spectrum. So there is, whole a lot of evolution and involvement, bringing in the new value add to the customers, but also, developing new use cases. Sometimes, agriculture was completely out, but with these new networks like LoRa or some other low power wide area networks, these use cases can be addressed as well, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, okay. And so, as you know, the podcast is called Finding Flows. So, really, it's about how you found your flow and how you found success. So, I wanted to find out from yourself, what does finding flow mean to you, both in your work at Mavoco and also in your own sort of leadership style?
Look, I'm always curious, and this curiosity keeps us going, especially in the
Yeah.
emerging and I would say high tech. You have to be, in the game by constantly learning, trying to see, testing and adopting new technologies, new ways of even working, right? So I would say this curiosity keeps me moving, keeps me going into this, right? Because IoT nowadays has nothing to do with M2N back then. Someone could jump into this industry, cannot even understand how it functioned, a decade ago. So this is one of the thing, Second thing is always to be close to the market, right? This is very, I would say, specific and niche industry. So you need to know the people, you need to know the players. So, visiting the conferences, following the webinars, meeting people here and there. So having this huge network also helps a lot. Yeah. Third is, IoT is global, so no boundaries, no cultural, regional flows or something like this. So being completely open to the global landscape is maybe the third point that, sort of, keeps you going. So.
Yeah, sure. Okay, great. And also, I wanted to know, so you've worked across so many high performance teams. So, what is your approach to building and motivating teams, especially across cultures and remote markets?
Firstly, understand, yeah. Be the manager, be available, stick to the promise, understand, listen, but also, help when it's needed, but also, give the space, give the freedom to the people that, so they can perform on their own. So this mutual respect, understanding, and trust, is a, I would say, cornerstone of the whole relationship. And this is also my leadership style. But definitely also, sometimes it's very important that both sides understand what are the skill sets and capabilities of something. And yeah, with this comes the transparency, whether something needs to be changed or not. Yeah. So in a nutshell, I would say, given the flexibility, but on the other hand, being there as a trustworthy, person that can always act upon what was agreed.
Okay, very, very good. And IoT, I know it can feel overwhelming for many organizations. So, what common mistakes do you see companies make when scaling IoT initiatives?
Yeah, sometimes it's very hard to build the whole end-to-end solution on your own. So because IoT is built out of components. On the one hand, you have connectivity. On the other hand, you have hardware. So there are subsets of hardware from sensorics to communication models. Then you have the whole software stack, and um, companies that try to focus on building and delivering everything might lose the race because it will take them too much time. So, fitting in the end-to-end solution by acquiring or outsourcing, let's say, hardware production, or just sourcing it from someone else, and maybe tying it to a certain stack or software might help in order to be more efficient and faster to the market, right? But this is the common mistake that I see, that startups try to build a whole end-to-end solution on their own, which takes them time, because in IoT things change fast, and you need to really, be very, efficient and fast to in order to place your product in the market.
Sure. Okay, okay. And I want to talk about Mavoco a little
Mhm.
bit. So I know you're doing some exciting work there. So what differentiates your platform in the CMP space, and what kind of companies should be paying attention?
Yeah, look, Mavoco is constantly graded as the champion in the CMP market. One needs to, Mavoco is still, I would say, in the startup mode, and the key players in the CMP market are Cisco with its IoT platform, Aris, who acquired the IoT business from Ericsson, and bigger companies. So, on the other hand, Mavoco is smaller, which gives some types of advantages, not just on the cost side, but it gives the advantage of flexibility, faster responses in the market, and I would say maybe easier and quicker approach to act upon requests in the market. The CMP platforms are intended for the telecom operators, right? And this has also a certain, I would say, cycle and a flow. And definitely, I think the whole team of Mavoco in a couple of years' time was able to bring Mavoco on the roadmap for all the telco operators. So whenever telecom operators engage in the IoT, whenever they want to introduce some innovations in the CMP space, I believe in 90% of the cases, Mavoco is considered as one of potential vendors, which is extreme and huge success for us as well.
Great. Very, very good. And so I suppose when you're not working, how do you personally reset or stay centered?
Well, that there's different activities. For instance, I personally am engaged quite a lot in the art, which
Okay.
gives me some different perspective because in this whole connectivity and software business, you do
Yeah.
see those things, right?
Yeah.
And I believe art brings this other side to me. So in my spare time, I like to visit galleries and
Okay.
museums and also engage in different forms of art collecting and
Mm.
working with the artists and all of this. Yeah. So this is somehow on my reset, I would say.
No, that's very, very good. And finally, for founders and operators listening, what's one principle that helped you scale your career and stay in your own flow?
I would say it's a combination, right? I think I mentioned some of those. This is curiosity
Yeah.
on the one hand. Second hand is really, staying up to date. Technology is evolving fast. Things change fast. Something that was 2 years ago, like a standard, it's not there anymore. So I would say staying also so in the game. Third is always, studying, learning, improving, reading, trying new concepts. This is what keeps me personally motivated, but also I think these factors are influencing my career growth. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, Domagoj, this has been a real masterclass, and I've really, really enjoyed having a chat with you and learning more about what you do and what keeps you in flow. It's been great to chat, so I really appreciate it, and thank you so much.
Thank you for the time. Yeah, it was a pleasure.